mind. What did you do? I'm still here, and you're dead. How? What happened? What did you do? You didn't get shot, run over by a car. That's what you ate. That's something you think about that. Food is supposed to be a supplement to you to help your body to grow and nourish, not to kill you. So you got to be careful with these things. So many things that as I go along, I study too. I got nothing to do but to sit there and just said, okay, as these ages come on upon me, how do I take better care of myself? How do I get myself stronger? I'm in the process and I'm exercising and doing more things than I ever could do because at one time I was so weak that I had to go around and work in the power chairs, and I'm building myself up out of that so I can walk and get out of that. Now I'm doing that better than ever. I got some stuff where I walked in here, I walk out. It used to be I had to be in a chair. I built myself up from that, and I continue. The more I do it, the stronger I become. And I've been doing this ever since. Because this is what we have to do. We have to exercise, folks. Because it's always if you don't use it, you lose it. It happened with my wife. I told you that before when she was in the York Hospital, and when she had the diabetics and stuff, and they were working on it, they wouldn't let her get out of bed for 2 months. For 2 months, they wouldn't let her get out of bed because she was a fall risk. Well, by the time they got ready to put her up, she was a fall risk. Now she couldn't walk. She had to get someone to try to teach her how to walk all over again. So this is what happens. Now, I noticed that the hospitals now, they changed because I used to complain about it when I was there. Now, if you go to the York Hospital right now, I was watching, they was getting people up and getting them to move around now. I said, oh, now you learned from your mistakes, did you? Because that's what they were doing. They said, what? They said, no, come on, get up. You got to walk around it. And I said, and I sort of laughed. I said, finally, you learned. But it took a lot of people for that to happen to you that they finally realized that's the wrong way to treat people. And folks, you got to remember, you got to keep up and use these limbs and these arms and stuff, or they'll get stiff. If you just, I'll repeat it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So I just explain it to you. It's that simple. So just take care and do. Make sure you do exercise if you want a better, healthier life. There's no guarantee you're going to live a long time. I ain't telling you that, but you'll live a lot better in your life, and then be able to live your life a lot better. You can get around better and so forth, and less pains and stuff, and have to go in for all kinds of operations trying to make you stronger. So these are things I said that. Yeah. Oh, and so matters before I forget, uh, our buddy Charles Lee did contact me. He is going to come next month. Yeah, the first week of February. Yeah, the first week of February, Charles Lee will be here again. Young Motown singer will be here. And I did tell you, I think last week, I saw one of the guys that was with the Drifters, Charlie Thomas's Drifters. I saw him at Wise Markets, and I'm trying to let him know. And if you folks would look, you'll see what I'm talking about. On YouTube, they are doing Charlie Thomas singing, and the guys. They're showing the videos of them singing with him, all the guys that's with him. They're doing it right now, all the time. So I told him, and he didn't even know it until I told him about it. And I said, aren't you getting paid for that? And he said no, he didn't even know it was on there. I said, well, you get on YouTube and you look, and I said, you'll see. All you guys are sitting there singing all the songs with Charlie Thomas, all his hit records that he's sung all these years and made millions. And I said, it's on there. So I got hip to that. But he was explaining to me what's happening with the drifters. They were usually performing on ocean liners, on ships. They had them hired out to do that. And according to whatever, if I told you last week, I hope I did. Anyway, he said that the last time they was on the ship, got the job, and when they came back home, they could no longer get a hold of their manager, which Rita, which was Charlie Roberts Thomas's wife. She became their manager since Charlie died, and so she was the one that's sending them out on the jobs and stuff. So she's making the money. And all of a sudden, they say that she wouldn't even answer the phone for them. And he said that they found out that she was been trying to replace them. I said, what? He said, yeah. She said she's trying to replace us with a new group of drifters. And I said, that reminded me back when I first met Charlie Thomas and Morshack from New York, which I used to be Charlie's manager up in New York. And they did the same thing to him. There was age discrimination. What it's called is you're starting getting older. They think you're too old to go out and perform the hit song that you made. Your voice is what the people heard, and and they would discriminate. They would try to get a bunch of younger guys out to do the same thing that you made money on, history on. And I just said, wow, man. And I mean, Charlie even said he was a drifter since he was 16 years old. Well, he's dead, fast he's passed away. But and I say that's something. And I remember a number of the artists was saying Prince. Prince, if you remember the artist called Prince, they did that to Prince too. They told him he couldn't go out. They took and bought his name, and that's why he designed this thing. Looked like some kind of weird guitar. That's what he had to do so he could still be who he was. But they buy your name. They buy you. They buy you out, and you can't go out and be who you were. The lucky Carl Madden and the other groups and stuff. They bought their name. They got theirs. I was listening to which groups have still got their names and which ones don't. Now the Temptations still got theirs because they were lucky enough got past that. Don't sell out that name or they wouldn't be able to Temptations no more. But this is what's happening in the music industry. Those people make more money than you. They buy your name. They don't do nothing. They just sit back and collect the money. What you're doing. That's what it's called. And I try to tell many of you young musicians that might be coming up in the world. I'm sure there's a lot of you, and I hope there is too. That's going to try to perform. Be careful under the record contracts with all of these companies because they will rip you off. If you've got a gift, God-given gift, and you can make something, you become famous. You got to watch it. Because what happens is the man who puts you out there make more money than you do. You only get a subsistence of what he's getting. He gets more money than you do. And he ain't singing, he ain't doing nothing. He just sitting back and enjoying the good life with money that you're making. You're working for him. You are his commodity. He owns you. And this is what you have to be careful of. You need to get lawyers that understand the business of entertainment and how to watch you so you can watch your back and get the right contracts. Don't sign nothing without getting a representative lawyer. Don't do that. All these companies, I don't care who they are, they're ripping you off. Yeah, I'm just telling you. So I'm passing that word on to you, young people. This is just something else while you're watching the show. If you're not passing on to them, you got kids that are probably coming up right now. That probably has gifts. Don't let them take advantage of them because they will do that. Everybody is trying to make money off you. They're going to use you to make money off. They call pimping off of you. P Diddy did it to a lot of people because he become a music mogul. He wasn't that great, but he got the artists that was, and he became very rich and billionaire behind him. Their music. So that's the stuff you got to understand what happens, folks. So just be careful that when in this world, this will be full of trickery, and on your kids, watch them. They can make a good thing and make a good thing if you use the lawyers to watch the contracts. Even in boxing, even in boxing, a lot of the artists as you see, yeah, they get some money, they get millions of dollars, but the promoters get more than what they do. You see these guys, oh boy, look, they got all these expensive cars and houses. Well, the promoters got 5 times that, and they ain't fighting. They ain't out there getting beat up, getting their bodies smashed around, the brains knocked in their head. Think of what I'm telling you, folks. The games that people play, they use you. If they see that you got some special talent, they find a way to trick you to make money off you. They do this all the time. I ain't got to tell you that they've been doing it with women, and you ladies know it. They get to use your body to make money for them. Especially if you look pretty, you got a good enough body, they're going to promote you. So they're going to use your body to get them wealthy. What you got, they don't got it, but you do. And that's the thing about people using people. You better learn how to be careful. That the world is full of drudgery and trickery. How are you making out the sound? Are you ready for any of it?
Videos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I can stop talking. Okay. I was trying to make sure I got everything I could tell them before you got ready. Okay. Again, I'll repeat to you, our Motown singer will be here next month. I talked to him. The only problem I got is my sister from California calls me every Saturday, and I've been telling her, I say, don't call me. I say Saturday is the time when I rest. I get my I get all my things together that I'm going to do for the people on this television show. I said because there's so many things I want to try to get people to know about and be educated on. I said I'm only here for 2 hours, and then I go home, and then you can call me all you want. I can talk. I said, but no, she does it every Saturday. I'm thinking that she's got some sort of dementia or something. She's just lonely. You got nobody that don't you trying to bug me to come out there and live with her. No, I'm not. I'm not coming out there. She just tell me, yeah, I got a place for you to stay here and all that. I said, no, that's okay. I didn't lose nothing in California. I know my brother went out there and his wife, they visited him, and so did my other sisters and brothers. They went to visit her. I said, that's okay. I said, I am not interested in it. I don't care nothing about it. From what I've seen on television, which it tells me I don't think I want to be there. No, that's okay. They can have it. Now I did. I've been out. We did some trips here the other day with. Yeah, you know where we went down there the other day? Everything hasn't changed since I drove tractor trailer, and I was just looking because sometimes I go out with Scotty and drive with him in his tractor trailer, and I see all these roads. Not too much has changed over the years. Except the trucks. The stuff they got better trucks than they had, and they're automatic now. So I'm saying, okay, I'll try to answer the phone. Hello, you live with Joe?
Hello,
Hello,
Joe.
hello.
This is Tom Anderson. How are you?
This is who?
Tom Anderson.
Todd Anderson. Okay,
Tom.
Tom Anderson.
Sometimes I like to order large fries, coffee.
You want to do what? sound like he was hungry. What do you want? I want this. Okay. Anyway, okay. Anyhow, but where we went down, I seen a lot of stuff. Now you know what I didn't see. I didn't see any ices down there.
Yeah,
Down there.
ICE don't mess with Maryland because they know better.
They know better than messing Maryland. Because I was looking all over the place when we was up and down all in different places there. Now I went them downtown towards the Chesapeake Bay there and all that. I don't see them in there. I said, okay. But like you say, also they just made them down to folks that they're still working on trying to get rid of Trump. They're getting closer and closer to getting him out. Oh, that's what I got to remember. The Congress did go down to Greenland and talk with the people to let them know they're not going to ever let Trump try to take over their country. They were saying, on solidarity. They said if he tries to do that, they will definitely impeach him out of office. I was watching the video. The Congress and all them said, just said that's the one time he definitely going to be gone. Said there's no ifs, ands, and buts about. I said, Trump. I don't know what's wrong with the man. I if I can say this, and I don't. He seems like, and I'm not. I'm trying to be careful how I say it because he is German, so is my friend German. But I sometimes he reminds me act like Hitler. They got the Gestapo. That's what ICE is like to him. Is like a Gestapo to him. To me, is what he's doing. The guy around to harm American citizens. You hear me also talk bad about our country, and he's the president. And I said, do you people realize what you've done? You put something like that that's told a disgrace on the American citizen. And I say, here's what bothers me about it. Look at all the soldiers and men and women that served this country and that gave their life to protect it. And he's just sitting there making us look bad. Is that what you really wanted? And some of you, I can't believe that you still support this fool. After all, you see what's happening, hear what's happening, and you still support him. That woman you told me that's always helping me at the store. I I'm glad I didn't say nothing because I never knew who she was supporting until the day before yesterday. And I was in the store and I was getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden she wanted to get on a talker. I said, okay. I took time to go ahead and talk. And then what she said to me showed me she's a Trump supporter. And I heard what she said, and I said, I'm not going to argue with her. Because the stuff that came out of her mouth about immigrants and that kind of stuff, and I just looked at her. Well, at least we're getting all the rapists and all this out. These rapists, and I'm just looking at it, and I said, a lot of that's not accurate. It's something that they say to you to convince you about the illegal stuff they're doing. Because here's the question I say to you people: when you talk about Trump, all the ISIS, they're getting all these immigrants out there. Well, how about the people here who are not immigrants and still doing the same thing? What about them? They're born here. What about them? You don't talk about them, do you? You got an excuse to blame it on somebody else when other people is doing the same exact same thing. And that's something for you to think about. I look at murder is still happening, rapes are still happening, all kinds of nasty things, racism, all this stuff is still happening. It had nothing to do with immigrants, not a thing. Then you might as well take that Statue of Liberty and get rid of it. But what's talking about sending your poor immigrants and send them back to the country? You're inviting the people here. Now when they come here, you're trying to get them out of the country. Why? But you invited them. You invited them to come here to get a better life. All this is so ridiculous, the whole thing there, that do you people understand what you're doing? When you get around some of these crazy people and they make up stories and tell you things and you don't realize what you're saying, you're sticking out both sides. This is why the Indians always say the white man speaks with the forked tongue, which is true, because you come from one side to the other. Because I mean, on that Statue of Liberty is telling the people, send us your tired, your poor, bring them in here. Then when they come, oh, get them out of here, ISIS, get them. There are many of the people that are here that they have done that are actually American citizens that they have ran out of here because they also have a heritage with certain other countries, but they were born here. If you remember, Donald Trump told you that he wants to still say if you're a Mexican, Puerto Rican, and you were born here in the United States, he wants to just classify it and just squash that birth certificate as though you weren't born here, just so he can try to get you out of the country. Do you understand that? And I said, well, then in that case, Donald Trump shouldn't be here because he's German. His family is German. I say, so that means that would apply to him and all his kids and all the rest of that. The same thing. Would it not? If you want to declassify your birth certificate, even if you're born in the United States, and say you weren't born here because you ain't the original people from here. The only people here is the Native American Indians. They're the original people that was here. So that means all the white people and all the rest of y'all got to get out of here because you're in someone else's country. Think about what I just said. You might not like the way I said it, but it's a fact. You weren't originally here either. Native Americans is the Indians. They were here. And they got robbed and raped and took over their country. They are the originators that were here, not you. None of you. But yet here you are trying to keep that same ignorance going on, racism stuff going on for people. Why? Why are you doing that? What are you so afraid of? Why can't you understand and let people be people? Why do you have to bring all that up? Why do you got to constantly do that? What wickedness is controlling you to do that to people? It's already bad enough for what you've already done, the murder and rapes that you've done till you got control over the country. But yet you continue to push that rhetoric out there as though you're afraid these people might rise up and take the country back. They don't even care about you no more. They don't. They don't pay you no mind no more. You're paying them attention. They don't. How many Indians you see out here right now talking about fighting the white man? Let's get our country back. How many of you see us doing it? How many? You don't, because you killed off most of them. My brother that comes here all the time, my brother's out there, Frank Little Bear and them, all the Indians, friends of mine. They're not even after you. They raise their families here and they just let this country go. They just try to enjoy the country. They're not even bothering you people. But yet, instead you have that kind of anger and bidding against them. See, this is the way, what we call the way Lucifer works in the conditioning of your mind. He blindsides you. And he tried to create a problem where there is no problem. And he caused you to make a problem where there was none. Now you have a problem where you really did not have one. That if you have one, it's because of what you created yourself. This is the voices of wisdom that I'm speaking to you that I've been watching all my life. And I continue to see it to this very day. But I got to also give credit to many of you who become intelligent enough to not fall into that trap. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm not telling you, so I know many of you don't misunderstand me. I'm not against everybody. I'm against those that continue to do that ignorance. Their brains have not matured enough to learn to live and be happy in this world. But they always want to make things harder for other people who are doing it. I also want to tell you that when I talked about Trump, when I talked about it, because I'm talking about what I know the truth as an American citizen, I'm born here too. I'm from Washington D.C. That's where I was coming out. That's why I put my birth certificate one time to show you where I was born and what year I was born right here. Gallinger Hospital in Washington D.C. That's where I was born from. Anyway, and I said that I've been watching all of this stuff transpire. As a kid, I grew up in Washington D.C. I traveled all over Washington with my parents, mom, and my mother. Not with my father because my father was murdered when I was a baby. I don't even remember him because I was still a young baby. I don't know how old. I don't know, I was 5 or 6 months old when my dad was murdered. But I traveled with here all over Washington with my mother and my uncles. They always took care of helped me to raise me to learn about things. I lived, so I lived a life of learning. Everything to all of us when we're coming up is fascinating. This whole world. Who are we? How did we get here? What are we doing here? What is this all about? What is this thing called life? What is it really all about? Then we got into the religious side to make some sense of why this thing called life. Why are we here? Why are we given this chance? You know that all of us, I put it this way to you. Every human being that's alive, that even that's listening to my show, is here on a trial basis. Do you understand that? Now, if you don't understand it, let me explain it to you, because I think that when you go into church, they were supposed to be explaining it to you. All we're doing is on a trial basis. We're trying to earn the right that when this body finally stops, there's a spirit that's to go back to the Creator. That's what we're trying to earn the right to heaven and live peacefully forever. That's what we're trying to earn that right. But there's so many steps to it because we have the prince of evil, demons, and devil, and his mind influences on us. He's trying to make things look impressive to it. There's women got all kind of sex problems. I've seen women go right back to being a whore, no matter what. I already know. I see them. I hear about them. They can't stop themselves. They got a mental problem. They got a sexual problem. They always got to have somebody to have sex with. They cannot stop themselves. That's why it's hard for them to try to act like a Catholic nun, you know, because they always got to have a sex problem. They can't live by themselves without having a man with them or somebody helping them because their mind is not intelligent enough to live on their own. I've listened to this. I've heard all of these things, and I've seen them. I had other people ask me questions. I said, I can't speak for them. They can only speak. They can only speak for themselves. We all like to have somebody, but well, are we getting the right things? Are we doing the right thing? Are we doing the things that honor God, or are we just trying to justify and make ourselves happy and not God? Because we know God showed us with His Word. It's called, we call it Bible. It's not Bible. It's Scriptures. It's not that's word. That's not the. If you look at the book, there's nothing that says Bible. It says Scriptures. All the disciples said Scriptures. And we keep saying, let's go get the Bible. No, it's get the Holy Scriptures. And I try to educate you on that. Because many other Christian people will say, you got a Bible? I said, I didn't look at them. I said, I have the Holy Scriptures, yes. And they look at me. Why did I say that? I said, because that's what it's called. Read it. Open it up. Read the words. It says Scriptures, not Bible. Not one thing that says anything about a Bible. Nothing. And this is what I'm saying in people's intelligence and how much their comprehension of things that they see and read. Do they really understand it? This is why many of them try to get someone that's further into the intelligence of the scriptures to help them to understand it. That's why we call it ministers or clergy, because we're hoping that they have studied it religiously and understand it maybe better than we do, and we try to get them to explain it to us. Many of them don't know this book as well as we do, because I've seen so many things that's been wrong. You're like, I just say some things to you, just top of my head. You know, how many of you enjoy this thing called communion? Yeah, I'm just saying some things right off the top of my head. Communion, where people get the thing, they say, take this food, this little piece of bread and wine, drink this, do this as often. And they think there's only a certain time that you do it. It's not. You can do this every day of the week. Did you know that every time you sit down to eat, the first thing you're supposed to eat is bread? Did you know that? You're not supposed to just dig into some potatoes and that. You're supposed to eat some bread first. Did you ever notice that? Go back and look at how they ate. They always broke bread first and then the food. Many of you don't even pay attention to things that you see and hear and read. You don't. How many of you got a prayer every morning that you get on every night before you go to bed? How many of you give God thanks for living you that day? And hopefully He'll give you another one tomorrow. How many of you think about that? How many of you really appreciate what He's done? Giving you the opportunity. Each time we're given the opportunity to make up for the wrongs that we do, the mistakes, so we can continue to try to earn the right to when we leave, so we can go and live with Him in heaven. This is what we're here for. This is what all of us is here for. Many of us, some of the young people nowadays don't even get a chance to get that much up because 18, 19 years old, they shot and blowed at somebody and killed each other. It's just gone. It's just the devil is so just powerful. You never know what's going to happen to you anymore. We live in a very dangerous, sinful world. Has no respect for you or no one, none of you. Every time you step outside your house and you close that door, you just step into the world of danger. Because you're out there with all of the evil forces that are surrounding you. You can breathe it in the air. It's there. How about when you get in your car? You say, well, I'm going to the store. You might not never come back because you might be in a serious wreck that kills you. Because the way people drive now, they have no respect for you. They don't care. You said, oh, I'm just going down the street and I'll be back. That's a wishful thought. You never know. The way we live in this earth, there is no guarantees. None. And you must really appreciate it when God gives you to him, gives you that opportunity. And this is what I try to put to you, what I'm teaching to you right now before we go any further. I was just talking about a number of things. I didn't even give you a video yet. Like I tell you about the fish and the animals and stuff and all that. You owe it to yourself to do just what I'm doing. Learn the truth about things in this world. It's interesting. Like I said, I just learned about the animals, different things about animals. I had dogs and cats and all that kind of stuff. Fish, I had all that. And each veterinarian will give you how to raise it or tell you what they think is the right way to do the animal and all that. So you got them. But is it correct? Like I was told that the dogs only see in black and white, and I found out that that's not true. That's not accurate. I just told you that just a minute ago. Dogs do see in color. So if someone tells you to see in black and white because they say, why they bark at a black guy? They say because they only see in black and white. That's not true. They do see in color. Dogs are protecting you. That's why they bark at somebody once they come around you. They're trying to let you, that person, know that they are protecting you. That's what they're doing. They are very protective of you. So sometimes people just misunderstand things and they say someone else gives them a whole different tale on it and they begin to believe it. So this, you tell me when you're ready and I'll just get quiet and let you run them.
Ready. Several different videos.
Okay. Well, my daughter's going to say several different things, so I'll sit here and be quiet and continue to learn. Okay? All right, go ahead, dear.
No, you listen to me, big doggy. You do not take my cookie off the table. That's naughty! Don't you wolf at me. You're being bad and you know it. No excuses. You have your own treats. But no.
Oh, she got that bounced.
Good boy.
I'm trying to give him some water like this, and he's like, nah.
No, no. Close the fridge. Close it. Oh my god. You good girl. You good girl.
Oh shit. Fuck that.
Did she just blow up?
Yep.
Don't step on my bed.
Are you kidding me? That's my shirt, motherfucker. That's my shirt.
Please drop the knife. Please put it down. Oh my god.
Bailey, you want a treat?
Oh wait, you got to be.
Hey, 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 hey! I would die for you.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
What the fuck?
Move, man.
Buddy. Do you want the ball? There you go. Okay, go get him.
Eyelashes on fleek, mama. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So what? You using the cat tower now? What? You gonna get up on the fridge with her next? You gonna jump up on the fridge? It's your cat? You think you a cat?
Hi, Mimi. Watch, her ears go like really far back whenever I do like the heavy metal sound.
Put your hand in mine. You know that I won't stop until I...
This is my dog, and she loves me. Yes?
Fuck you, motherfucker!
Oh, God.
Excuse me, sir. I've been wondering if you've found Jesus.
Oh, my God. He's missing? What? No, not like literally. Have you tried Amber Alert?